Oh, hey, switch up.
We'll switch
Three guys and a bear are ready for some football, but we have to wait a few more months.
I see. I like to subvert your expectations.
That was a good subversion.
They didn't start playing just for us. Just to be clear, the season has not begun yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be great if we could work that kind of a deal out, though.
If they could just do a few games, just like exhibitions, just for us to talk about.
Yeah, why not? I mean, what are they doing?
Yeah, well, hey, you got the CFC or whatever that was that I saw on Twitch, where you get to be in control of the players and call the plays.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Are they still doing that?
They're still doing that. Yeah, that was on last week.
They're just announcing season V 2.0, Rob.
Whoa.
So what happens with audibles?
I have no idea. I've only just heard about this yesterday.
Yep.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's post-draft show. We live streamed the draft. It was a good time. First round, that is. And, it was a pretty wacky, wild draft.
Yeah?
It was unconventional, if anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like I don't know if, did it get the record for like the most trades or whatever?
It's got to be up there.
I think it did. Yes.
That's a wild draft.
Yeah, hold on. I got to pull up these trades. I mean, normally, teams make trades like, I'll give you a 5th rounder for a 6th and a 7th next year, like something like that. But this was like, they trade Hollywood Brown. Like, I was like, what the shit's going on?
And we didn't stream the other days, but the other days were like that too. Like it was there was a lot of trading on both other days.
Yeah. But we can open it up with a little fun time because we were talking about this. Tom Brady will join Fox Sports as lead analyst as part of a long-term agreement once he ends his career, and he will call games with Kevin Burkhardt. And what's he getting? $375 million, 10 years or something like that?
Yeah, that's the deal.
It's just a wild amount of money.
That's a lot of money, especially for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Who's got a lot of money.
Well, I mean, that's probably why they have to pay him that much money, is because otherwise he'll be like, no, I'm going to go fuck off over here. But
you can't actually see any numbers below 5 million anymore. Like they don't exist in his brain. They don't register.
Basically. Yeah.
It's insane. Just the amount of it's whatever. So he's gonna do that. Who knows if he'll be good or not? I don't think
he's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be. And now, thinking about it more, it's beginning to feel like this is his second, like, nobody believes in me arc. Where
could be,
He's going to be just coming out of his football career, not really looking like the first choice in people's minds for a lead commentator for football. And will probably suck at it at the beginning, and then all of a sudden develop into the greatest commentator of all time, because that's just what Tom Brady does.
When he announces the Super Bowl.
Right.
He'll finally come into his own.
Exactly.
Great defense from Kevin Burkhardt.
I think he'll do just fine. I don't think that he's going to have a problem with it. The man knows more about football than most people do. I don't think I'm not projecting him to be like on like Romo-esque levels for the first few like seasons, but he's definitely going to have a better debut than Witten. I mean, like it can't
be worse than that. Really.
Yeah, that's
it's not like this is like Jeremy Shockey we're talking about. It's Tom Brady.
Well, the thing that I expect, because I don't know if you guys saw. I think it was last year. Well, yeah, I think they only did it last year, or maybe the year before, the Manning cast. But Brady was on there.
Yeah,
and I mean, he was funny. He was funny and charismatic on the Manning cast when he was talking with the Mannings.
Mm-hmm.
But he was already speaking in sort of like a kind of a diplomatic kind of way, where it's he's not really gonna I don't know. I feel like his commentary is going to end up being very shallow,
Yeah.
which would be a shame because he's got to be one of the greatest football minds on the planet, right? Like I would want to see Tom Brady analyze something a lot. You know
I
what
mean, he also once he's like actually out of the NFL, might not care as much.
Yeah,
Might
he's
just say
still
what he
in the
wants.
process. He's still in the process of depatriotizing himself,
Yep.
Yeah.
where he's not having to apply that sugar coating to everything he says.
Yeah, right. That's
Plus, he was in a casual environment too. It's not like the Manning cast is like on Fox with a co-caster too. I mean,
Yeah.
he hasn't. To me, like everything that I've heard from him, from casting and bits and pieces here and there, like he knows what he's doing. So I don't think he's just gonna outright suck at it. I think he'll be pretty good at it, and I'm looking forward to hearing him. But Tom, give it another 5 seasons, please. Just stay with us for just as long as possible.
Nah,
I don't think
yeah.
I don't think you even have to beg him anymore. Like he's down for that. It seems.
Yeah.
Like he does not want to spend any time with his family. As much
100%,
time away
yeah.
from his family as he can get.
He's just gotta be so bored, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it didn't take very long to come to this conclusion.
He's a natural athlete. Like he cannot. Like I mean, why stop what you're good at when you're just getting better and better?
Yeah.
Like, keep building with it.
He arguably should have won MVP last year.
He really should have. Like,
which is
the fact that he didn't is like, I mean, it's Buccaneers bias coming out for sure, but like, Tom also carried us through that playoff game. Had the Bucks not lost to the Rams, it would have been an even more egregious like slight over that, because Tom really did do a lot of dumb things in that game. But he also brought us back and took us all, like made us believe that we could get there. Like that would have been one of the greatest comebacks in playoff history if the Bucks had pulled that off, and they messed her, and Fournette walking into the end zone. I'll never forget it, man. That was the dumbest play. But
Yep. No, I remember. I remember watching that. It's like, here it is. Here they
everyone
go again.
did. Everyone did.
Yeah.
The world thought that, but he's back, baby.
Yeah.
He's not going away.
No. No. So,
God bless him too.
one other fun story I found was former Papa John's CEO Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder wanted to get Roger Goodell fired. Or they wanted him to get Roger Goodell fired.
All right.
So
they wanted Papa John to do it.
they wanted Papa John to get
They ordered
Roger
Papa
Goodell
John on a
fired.
hit.
I just read that. I read that and I was like, this is the most like douchey rich guy.
That's the most absolute rich people bullshit you can think of.
No, that's
Papa, we need you to get Goodell out of there. You're like, yeah, load him up on garlic sauce. We'll see how that goes.
Don't you have like a secretary or something to do this for you? Why me?
I really hope Jerry Jones calls him Papa. Like now, I just
You know he
need
does.
that.
You
Yeah,
know he does. Papa?
Papa, we need Goodell down.
But first, I gotta finish my McDonald's, so I'm salting up.
It makes you wonder, like, first I got to finish my Egg McMuffin that I add copious amounts of salt to. It makes you wonder if rich people have, like, their own code. Like, it's just an unspoken, you just know
they
how
probably
to
do.
speak to other rich
They
people.
don't even exist in the same fucking planet as us, man.
Yeah.
They live their own
not at
entire
all.
different life.
Yeah. No, it's too much for
You ever
me,
see
but-
those like videos where they try to get rich people to guess how much things are in grocery stores?
Oh, yeah.
Just every time. There's not been one who could just Google it beforehand. Like that's all you gotta do.
They exist to entertain like the masses of
It's
people.
like
and
bag of carrots. That's got to be like $20.
it's got to be like 50,000, 50K. No one on their right mind would throw
I'd
these
pay
from the ground.
50,000 for that.
So yeah, I guess that was a thing.
Yep.
Nobody likes Roger Goodell, including literally everyone,
Including Roger Goodell.
including
Yeah.
Roger Goodell. Yeah.
I mean, he's essentially like he's there so that people think that Roger Goodell runs the NFL.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point of him.
Yeah.
So,
He really is.
He's the heel on purpose.
But then we had the NFL draft.
Yeah.
So first round NFL draft, we had the first round. It was pretty standard. Pretty much we knew what was going to get picked because it seemed like the Jaguars took Trayvon Walker. Then the Lions took Aiden Hutchinson. So people saw that coming. He's from Michigan. They were like, all right, he's a good edge rusher, Michigan home state guy. Then they had Derek Stingley Jr. go to the Texans. That was the first kind of crazy one because everyone was like, oh, Ahmad Gardner, Texans. And then they were like, nah.
Yeah.
And then that led to the New York Football Jets taking Sauce Gardner.
We have the sauce.
The sauce did indeed land in the Jets' lap.
Rob,
I
how do
mean,
you feel?
I'm pretty stoked about it. Like you remember me on the draft stream at first.
Yep.
I was a little hesitant, but considering how the rest of the draft went, like the first round, I'm super stoked about how everything went. But yeah, because the Jets had Sauce Gardner as their number one on their draft board.
Mm-hmm.
So in case anybody doesn't know at home, for those of you who don't pay that much attention to football, teams will have their own individual draft boards of like where they actually put players, right? Like this will come in handy to remember when we get to the Patriots pick later. But so and that's like totally different from the media's one. The media's one, they just they make up their own shit.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jets had them as CB number one. So they got a steal in their minds, which I'm very happy about because as long as they believe in the dude, that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he seems really good as well.
I think it was like he didn't give up like any touchdowns. He like barely gave up any yards. Like dude was insane.
Yeah, no, he was like a super shutdown corner. Apparently, like it was to the point that he doesn't have. People were arguing about his stats because he doesn't have super accurate stats because they just didn't throw to him. They just stopped. They were just like, nah. I mean, why risk it?
Yeah.
Which is a good sign.
Yeah, I mean he's got the build too. Like he's 6'3", so he's not too short. He's not like super tall, but like he's tall enough to where he can guard like some decently tall wide receivers as well.
Yeah, I mean Revis wasn't like I don't think he was like a big combine, super athlete guy, but he was still amazing.
Yeah, Revis was 5'11".
Yeah,
so
and he was fast, but like it's weird with cornerbacks, right, in the NFL with how much speed matters.
Yeah,
because it's all about like
right, robot assistant.
Yeah,
no, sorry.
I mean, Darrelle Revis did run a 4.38 40, so
yeah, he's fast.
Yeah.
Like he was real fast.
He is fast.
One of the fastest cornerbacks that we've seen in a while.
Yeah. Which is important for a corner, but because
Yeah.
you're up against the wide receivers who are also super fast.
Yeah.
So that was a good pick by the Jets. Then they had Kayvon Thibodeau go to the Giants, which is great. They actually had him as like number one for a lot of the year, and then he fell to 5. So I mean that's a solid take there by them. The Panthers took Icky. They took the offensive tackle, so that's good. They need a lot of offensive line help from what I've seen.
Is that he's also the dude who's like enormous, right?
Yeah, he's
like
gigantic. Like actually gigantic. Like nobody can get through that guy.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be good.
We're just gonna talk about the sauce not walking the correct way.
Oh, that's right. All the Jets players struggled there.
We just gonna try to skip over that round.
Yeah,
the first thing that your
lost his way on the way to the main stage.
Yeah, I didn't know where the stage was, but
first thing that we're gonna do with your new draft pick, he's gonna walk the wrong direction.
That is a standard like Jets thing to have happen.
It's a very bad omen, I will say, but look, I don't necessarily believe in football magic, so there you go. Maybe it will have no effect.
All right, so if you don't believe it, it just doesn't exist then. All right.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's good. So and then the Giants picked again after I think they traded, or no, this was the Bears pick they had. They got Evan Neal, offensive tackle, Alabama, so that's good for the Giants. They also need offensive linemen.
Yep.
Then the first wide receiver off the board, Drake London, USC goes to Atlanta, and that was the domino because it was just wide receiver central after that. Well, Seattle took Charles Cross, offensive tackle, which is funny because their whole Russell Wilson's whole career was just not having offensive linemen, and then he leaves. They take one right away.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's funny. Unless you're a Seahawks fan. Then the Jets took Garrett Wilson, second wide receiver, who I think he dropped his glasses or something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I know. There's some ominous things happening. But look, so Garrett Wilson was also their number one wide receiver. They did not have Drake London above Garrett Wilson.
Oh, interesting.
So before all is said and done in the draft in the first round, they said that they got 3 of their top 8 players, which I mean is great.
That's insane, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And Garrett Wilson is he seems very, very good.
Yeah, he reminds me of a young Jarvis Landry. I think
he's got a little bit of that. Yeah,
I think that he's got potential for sure. It's just a matter of coming down to who's passing him the ball, Rob.
Exactly. Yeah, that's.
ESPN gave him a comp of Robert Woods. That's
yeah.
It's good company.
Yeah.
They're going to be lining up against each other in training camp too, aren't they?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, the Jets actually they're getting guys. They're getting ball players as
yeah.
You might have heard.
Thank you, Coach. They are indeed getting guys.
No, I mean, look, I hate being optimistic about the Jets because I've been here. I've been here many times before.
Setting my watch.
Yep.
But I will say, as far as anything else is concerned, I do think that our GM is making the right moves. Now, whether or not those players work out or anything works out is is a whole other separate issue. That that has to do with talent evaluation, which maybe he's bad at. I don't know. But as far as it goes, the moves alone it looks like competence to me.
Yeah.
Mark.
Right. So we can start the clock here, and then we'll have the exact measure once we, inevitably get to the point where all hope is lost and he is completely defeated as a person.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the exact timestamp.
That'll be fun.
It's about 1 p.m.-ish
around there, yeah.
Opening day, right? Something like that. So
first play, just Garrett Wilson just fumbles and then running back.
Well, so here's the thing. So you mentioned this, but the team is also kind of structured in a way where we're gonna find out if Zach Wilson is the dude, basically this year and or next year.
Right.
Poor guy.
Sorry, yeah.
No.
Bears is barking on us.
Yeah. I agree. I'm emotional about this too. So Zach Wilson, he's either going to be the guy or not, and we're going to find out next year or the year after. And the thing is, though, if he's not, we are kind of starting to be set up in a way that would be attracting a veteran QB trade kind of situation, right?
Yeah.
Which seems to be the new norm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we could have, and we've already done this before with Brett Favre, which almost worked out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So so if Zach Wilson's not the guy, we're kind of angling for that territory too, which seems good as a backup plan. It looks like a good plan B.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Your logic is not flawed, so it's only going to make it that much more heartbreaking when inevitably occurs.
Yeah.
I think we should all just just take a second to appreciate how great it is that all of us like different football teams, and one of us is a Jets fan. It makes things infinitely more entertaining.
We have like a well balanced like team, win-loss ratio among all of us.
Yeah.
Like we have the Jets fans, so just permanent sadness. We got like Invictus started sad, now he's happy, and then Bear was the Patriots fan, and on the Pack. You got so many different things.
Yeah, there's a lot of variation in that one person's team loses forever, and then everyone else's team wins all the time.
You're doing a real good job holding down that side of the scale for us.
Yeah, thanks.
Rob, you sit here, you hold our jackets while we all go ride the roller coaster.
And then Bear gets to win like 20 Super Bowls.
I get to go again and again and again. And you guys just sit there and wait for me for a little while.
I get to go once every 10 years.
No, you get like once every 20 years. I get one every 10 years. And then I get permanent championship game losses. Although we mixed it up, little division loss last year. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you could have had more than 2 of my lifetimes before the Jets' last Super Bowl.
That's true, yeah.
See, now's when we need that really talented artist out there who listens to us to just draw us all representative at the same amusement park, but in our different roles. We really need that.
Just cleaning up broken glass on the floor.
me and Bear sharing like Tom Brady like shaped ice cream cones, and like Trendor's off like doing something with Devonte Adams or something.
No, he's not even on the team. I'm just like with Aaron Rodgers, and I'm like holding my Super Bowl thing, but he's talking to me about like aliens of invading or some shit. I'm just like, please just throw the ball. Just throw the ball.
He's got a big sign. He's sitting down at a desk that says, like, talk to me about COVID vaccines. Trendor's just sitting there anyway.
Then we had the first big like trade come in, which was the Saints moving up. They traded their 16th, 98th, and 120th pick to move up to the 11th. So for 5 spots, they traded a lot.
2 top 100 picks.
Yeah, they really wanted Olave.
And they got Olave. So they compare him to Terry McLaurin, which is kind of funny because you could probably just trade for Terry McLaurin at this point.
Really.
You just get him. Like, you don't have to get like his doppelganger. Just get McLaurin.
Yeah. But hey, Saints, they got the guy they wanted. So there they go. They got him.
Got him.
And then funnily enough,
Ladies and
the Vikings traded with the Lions, who wanted Jameson Williams from Alabama, who might have been the top wide receiver had he not got hurt in the championship game. But that's like crazy. They gave him a comp of Odell Beckham Jr. So like, that's Lions. Like Lions actually, like, look at them. They're kind of having to come up here too, a little glow up.
Yeah, I mean, as a neutral fan of the Lions, they look like they're making the right moves.
Yeah, they almost feel like the Jets of the NFC, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, we need a new feel-good underdog team since the Browns became,
true.
The teams.
They're
the
not
NFL's
the devil
team
anymore.
No, they're done. They're done.
They're like the worst now.
The toilet team.
Well, maybe the Washington still.
That's true. Yeah,
worse,
they're the worst. Browns
They're
are close.
down in that company, and that's bad enough.
Yeah.
Did Minnesota? Did they realize they need draft picks, right? They have to
I
draft
don't
somebody,
think they
right?
did.
They don't need them.
I don't know. We'll get to even more Viking stuff soon.
They were just allergic to draft picks this year.
Just keep trading down. Jordan Davis went to the Eagles, defensive tackle, Georgia. Then Kyle Hamilton, Notre Dame safety, went to the Ravens, so he's going to be good because it's Ravens. And he could have went to the Vikings, who needed a safety. It's like one of their top things. But
it's also interesting that. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say they chose to just trade down.
Yeah, I was going to say it's very interesting that the Ravens decided to not get a wide receiver after trading their only good wide receiver in the offseason. There.
Yeah, they traded the Hollywood Brown. Well, they traded the Hollywood Brown.
The Hollywood Brown.
The Hollywood Brown to the Cardinals for pick number 23. They also got a third rounder. So it's Hollywood Brown and a third rounder to the Cardinals for pick number 23.
Yep.
Which pretty insane still. Like that dude was like their top receiver.
Yeah.
Like,
and considering what they do later in the round, spoilers.
Yeah.
You know, it's literally like for a contract thing.
Yeah,
which
it
is just it just seems, I don't know.
Yeah, that seemed to be a lot of the things happening was contract stuff.
Yeah.
But the Cardinals did it because he's obviously friends with Kyler, and they also just want more wide receiver help. So I mean, you make Kyler Murray happy, and you get him his friend, and then you get better at wide receiver. So it's like, why not?
Yeah.
But that happened. We'll get to their Ravens pick again eventually, but. Then the Texans took Kenyon Green, offensive guard. It's the Texans; they need everything.
Yeah, Kenyon Green's really good though. Like he at A&M, he was a really, really good offensive lineman. He could play all 4 positions.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, he was actually really, really good at A&M. He was only a junior too, which is pretty cool.
Interesting. Yeah, that was like Elton Jenkins on the Packers. They took him in like the 2nd or 3rd. Dude played every position on the line, and he like never gave up a sack. And I was like, this dude's insane.
Yeah, you want guys like that on your line because they can fill any position that you need in case of like someone goes down, but they're also some of the smartest players on the field.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's so like it is so hard to play on the line, and especially like I played guard for a little bit there, and there's so many plays you have to remember. It's unreal, and I cannot imagine playing all 4 positions on the line. Screw that.
Yeah, that sounds insane.
It's very difficult to play offensive line.
But after that, the Washington Commanders, I actually forgot what they were called.
It's just that bad.
I actually prefer football team now.
I actually do too.
Football team's better. Yeah, football team is better.
They went. Hey, you know what? Like it was Bear. I think it was Bear who called it back in our preseason game for this past season when they were talking about like what are the names going to be. I think it was Bear who said they're probably going to go with Commanders or something like that.
It probably was, yeah.
You know, I believe it.
It was either Bear or Rob, but I'm almost 100% sure it was Bear because I went back and listened to that show.
They could have been the Hogs, man. That's so
sad.
It just makes so much sense.
It did,
it does.
Which is exactly why it didn't happen.
Yep.
I didn't mean to derail it, but man.
I think the worst part for me was they were like, we're going to reveal the team on Groundhog Day. And it was like, dude, this is so perfect. That's clever by them. And then it just wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. They're just awesome.
Yep.
Hate that team.
I mean, it's very predictable that the team would choose like the most, bland, generic, businessy sounding,
Commander. I mean, they could have gone with Senators, and I think that would have been slightly worse.
That would have been worse.
Yeah, that would have been worse. Yeah,
but it's still real bad.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, we're in kind of the minority as far as like not really big fans of Dan Snyder.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna name him, but I like to watch a lot of like sports card like breakers and stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And someone mentioned how dumb the Commanders were, and someone in chat like jumped on Dan Snyder, and like the host was like, "Hey, come on, lay off of Dan Snyder. Like he's a great guy and stuff." I'm just like, "Oh man, either we have a really wrong read on him, and we just don't, and we're just like like assholes, or they are severely misinformed."
I would, from the pieces I've put together over the last maybe 30 years, I'd say we're a little more right.
I think we're on the right side. I was surprised for the admiration of Dan Snyder just out of completely nowhere, just watching.
That is very weird.
Watching people break football cards, so I was surprised by that.
Even you could just take like 1 or 2 of the things and be like, this guy's an asshole. Like really, it's just the track record just keeps building and building.
Literally if you just Google Dan Snyder, I've I believe that you will find some controversial news story within the first 5
Like,
stories.
what did I do? I just took all the cheerleaders, put them on an island, and stared at them. Like, what do you mean it's not good?
I just forced a bunch of women into sexual favors for our founders. Like, just
if
that's
there's
fine.
something wrong with that, then so be it.
If there's something wrong with that, I don't want to be right.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I mean, let's even going back to our guardrails around the stadium are failing, but they got to with Jalen Hurts, so it's all right.
The pipes broke and spilled sewage on people. Is it my fault? Okay. So they took Jahan Dotson.
Yep.
Wide receiver, Penn
That's
State.
right, they did.
Congratulations, Jahan. You get to go to over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then,
And you get to enjoy the great city of Washington, D.C.
Gotta love it.
Wonderful town.
Then the Chargers took Zion Johnson, offensive guard.
Zion
Johnson.
Zion.
Then another big trade. This is when the A.J. Green trade happened. Or not A.J. Green, A.J. Brown. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, they're trading for him?
Yeah,
When was
the Eagles traded with the Titans to get A.J. Brown for the 18th and 101st overall picks. And then immediately A.J. Brown got a 4-year, $100 million, $57 million guaranteed contract.
Yep.
So that's why that happened.
That was from the Saints, though, originally, right?
I believe it was, yes.
It was the Saints trading to Philly, who trade to the Titans.
Yeah.
Right, that was like a three-way
trade,
right?
Yeah. And that was funny because then they took Treylon Burks, whose comp is A.J. Brown. So it's just the literal, we have an A.J. Brown at home.
Yeah.
Which is so essentially they're like, we're not going to pay the one wide receiver who was a standout on our team.
Yeah.
And we're gonna instead draft it. It's a shame because this is the same kind of shit that they did to Joe Flacco. Lamar Jackson, they're not supporting the offense at all with draft picks or free agents, and they're just we're good enough already, and making moves based on that. And it's just I don't know. I feel bad.
I don't really. I'm not a fan of it. I think I would have rather just re-signed A.J. Brown. I mean, the dude's your best wide receiver.
I think it was more the fact that they're trying to save money.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they're trying to save money for a specific thing, Derrick Henry's got to get paid. But I feel didn't they just give him a contract, or did they not?
Well, they're essentially saving money for their defense, right? Because that's what they're doing with their draft picks too. Is they're getting. I mean, I know. Granted, they took a defensive player and an offensive player in the first round, but I mean, they took defense first, which is what they've been doing forever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, with John Harbaugh at the helm, so.
Derrick Henry's on a 4-year deal, and he's in the third year of it.
He's going into the third year.
Yeah. So it's half of us. I mean, it's not like he needs to get paid right now. He's getting paid.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What are they going to re-sign I don't even know if I'd rather get rid of Tannehill, honestly, and trade someone up. But at the same time, who are you going to get? So I mean, Tannehill's not bad. In fact, I think he's an above average quarterback. It's just
I'd say so.
I don't know if I'm he's gonna make Treylon Burks a star out there. If you take guys Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers or elite quarterbacks, they're gonna take Jimmy Neutron out there and make him good.
I mean, how much did Brown sign with the Eagles with? What was his contract?
It was 4 years, $100 million, I think is what I said.
Yeah, and let's get something clear right off the bat. Jimmy Neutron would do extremely well
100%.
on the football field, but he would also cheat. He would be a big cheater.
Yeah,
so
would.
You'd have to watch out for that.
Yeah, no, I agree. So that was the Titans move there. Then the Saints took Trevor Penning, offensive tackle, Northern Iowa. People actually thought he was going to go to the Packers. Is another meme, Northern Iowa, Brian Bulaga. And then we had the first quarterback at the 20th pick, which was shocking. And it was Kenny Pickett, the Pittsburgh guy, to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So
Surprising nobody.
Yeah, nobody's surprised there. So, I mean, that's neat. You know, you got the Pickett versus Trubisky. That's going to be an intense battle, truly.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little surprising in that, like, a lot of the media was projecting Malik Willis highly, and he dropped a lot. And actually, all the QBs really did.
Yeah.
That's why, like, besides even just the amount of trades, the fact that, like, no QBs were taken basically at all is really wild.
Yeah, that was probably the most shocking thing, to be honest.
I guess him falling so far was like...
Yeah, he was like 3rd round, right?
Maybe.
Something like that, yeah. I think, I mean, he fell through, let me see. Give me a second here.
Round 3, pick 86. Yep, 3rd round.
86, yep.
And he went to the Titans. We was talking about the Titans.
And it's important to know, like I was mentioning earlier in the episode, but you know, this is what I mean, where teams have different draft boards, right, than the media, because the media was projecting him as like a potential 1st round pick for months.
Not even first, like top 10.
He was he was supposed to be the first quarterback drafted.
Yeah, from a lot of different media outlets, and that is it was completely different from literally every team in the NFL's draft board.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's important to remember during draft season that, like, you know, the media mock drafts and stuff, and even their evaluations are completely their own. They have nothing to do with how the teams feel about players.
Yeah. So then we had the Chiefs take Trent McDuffie, Washington. I will not trust any Washington players after Kevin King was drafted. So
Kevin King.
Yep.
The king of the secondary.
And then the Packers took Quay Walker, linebacker, Georgia. I actually love this pick because I feel like all the wide receivers they wanted were gone. And we got a Georgia player last year, which was Eric Stokes, and dude was great. And we need more linebackers. Like, we've always struggled at linebacker, and then this dude just seems really good. Like, he can cover well. He can stop the run. He can play the, like, edge rush. Like, it sounds great. Love it.
He's fast for a big man.
Yeah, he's fast. He's like 6'4", 241. Like,
yeah, right. Dude runs a 4.52 in 40.
Yeah, and I think the reason they got him is because we've always struggled at covering tight ends. So I think he's gonna cover tight ends like 100%. Which fantastic. I love it. Then Kaiir Elam goes to the Florida goes to the Buffalo Bills. It's a corner. Tyler Smith goes to the Cowboys. He's an offensive tackle. And then the Ravens used the Hollywood Brown pick for a center from Iowa, Tyler Linderbaum. So they trade a wide receiver and take a center. And then the Jets coming up again, getting Jermaine Johnson II, who actually was supposed to be like a top 10 pick or something.
Yeah. And the Jets, you had one hell of a draft, Rob.
Yeah. I again, like, on paper, they had an extremely good draft. And again, he's one of the players that was in their top 8, right? Like, he was highly rated for them as an edge rusher, which is one of the you know, needs that we have, like a significant need.
Yeah.
And the guy like by default looks like a Jets player. Just like looking at his profile picture, it's just like, yeah, that guy's a Jets player without even knowing who it is.
Yeah. Oh, also, I did want to mention, because all of the Jets players had great outfits, and I thought they looked very fly. But all of the suits this year were like all very dope. Like, they were very, very cool.
Oh yeah,
there were a bunch of really.
Who was the one who? The guy had a Snickers logo. Who was
that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
And then there was another player who had like they were like cherry like rubies on with like the black suit that looked like that was probably the best suit that I saw. Who?
That was Jermaine Johnson. Oh no.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. That was early in the draft.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was. It wasn't was it Thibodeau?
Maybe.
It might. I think it was actually. Yeah. I think it was Thibodeau.
I need to go back and watch the draft again.
Yeah.
But yeah, great moves by the Jets. Never thought I'd say that. And then Devin Lloyd.
It was Thibodeau. I'm watching it right now.
Yeah.
He won the prize.
I mean, see, like a lot of people are praising the Jets draft too, which is
bad sign, Rob.
I don't know. Like if this were a movie, I know what's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna turn out that way. But I mean, I hate this team.
And Mark, there we go. It only took 29 minutes. 29 minutes.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it seems promising, but you never know until things play out. Like on paper, everything's like this is gonna be great, and then yeah. 'Cause I mean, look, there's plenty of first round dudes who are like, all right, and then they're out of the league 2 years later. You're like, okay,
yeah, exactly.
Devin Lloyd went to the Jaguars, inside linebacker. They need everything. And then the Packers took Devonte Wyatt, who was a defensive tackle, Georgia. We literally, 3 of our starters out of the 11 are Georgia defensemen now, which is fine with me. Like, they're a good defense in college. So, I mean, they at least have, like, really good, experience and playing at high levels and championships.
They're the team in this draft, right, where they had the record for the most draft picks out of their team.
Yeah, it was something like 13.
Yeah,
which is wild.
Because their defense this year was just absurd, and it was absurd last year too. Like they already had like one of the highest amount of players picked last year in the draft too.
Yeah. So at first I was like, this isn't a wide receiver, and then I watched like this dude play, and I watched them break it down on film. This dude's insane. Like he is actually like he stops the run, he gets to the passer. He's smart. He like has good arm movements and like swim moves and he's just insanely strong. Like he's fast. He was like one of the strongest players in the draft. Like he's insane. I was watching him like with all the other linemen do like drills in camp, and he was just like above and beyond everyone else. And everyone's just looking at him like this dude's insane. And I was like, all right, I like it.
This guy's crazy.
This guy's crazy. So they already said projected year 1 impact starter. Wyatt can step in right away, become an explosive running mate alongside Kenny Clark. So I mean, that's great. I think the Packers have seen like the past couple of years we've lost to like dominant defenses. Like we lost to the 49ers defense, we lost to the Buccaneers defense. I think they hit a point where they're like, dude, we just got to play defense. And I'm like, you know what? I'm fine with that.
So, I mean, also Aaron Rodgers is 39, and they, this is kind of the thing too with old quarterbacks is that's how teams have been winning lately.
Yeah.
Is with older quarterbacks is just build a good defense, and the QB can kind of cover a lot of the offensive issues.
Yeah. Plus, if something happens to them and you have to bring in a backup, like you can still rely on the defense to keep the game close at least. So,
right.
Yep. By the way,
running game.
People listening, Bear's not talking because he's not here right now. Just so we're clear. It's not like, it's not like Bear's nothing to contribute. He's literally not here right now.
No, he's just not here.
He said be right back.
Yeah. Plus, we have our running game, which is still Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. So, I'm pretty happy still. I think the team's going to be fine. Sure, we don't have any, like, star wide receivers. But we did get one early second round and bring up. Which I might as well just bring it up now because we're not going to go into the second round, really. Which was Christian Watson, which a lot of people had him mocked in the late first round. So, kind of a little bit of a first round pick. Yeah. But he actually fell to early second. And thank you to the Minnesota Vikings for allowing us to trade up and take Christian Watson.
Yeah, it's so weird that they were trading with divisional teams.
Yep. It is very weird. I don't know why. Normally teams don't want to trade within the division, but they just they didn't care.
Yeah. It's very strange.
We had apparently Christian Watson's father played safety in the NFL. Good blend of size, speed, length, touchdown production. through the air, ground, and return game, fast from snap to whistle. A lot of people had him
good length.
Good length, great girth. I actually saw him as comped as like a Debo Samuel type guy, where he can just kind of do everything. And an AFC scout said, "I love the kid. He's going to be great in the locker room and work his tail off every day." So I love to hear that. Apparently one of his big issues is he drops stuff, but I mean, Devonte Adams literally had that when he came into the league, and then, it's a fixable thing.
Yeah. I mean, Devonte Adams, he spent a couple of years not being good.
Yeah. Like, he legit, there was a point where I was like, we should cut this guy. He just dropped. I called him Drop Vontae Adams.
Yeah.
I don't know why the first thing that came to my mind when you said like his problem is like he just drops stuff is like when people are like handing him like paper or like if like they're like handing him like soda from the machine or something, he just drops it all. It's like
that would be annoying. Yeah.
So yeah, it's honestly, it's practically like a late first round wide receiver. I'm fine with it. I think he's going to be good. I'm excited. They also got a receiver in like the 4th round, Romeo Dobbs, but they're calling him Romeo Dubs. Either way, he seems more like a speedster guy, but I'm pretty happy with it. I think we got a wide receiver crew that's kind of janky, but again, Aaron Rodgers.
Did it to yourself, really. So
yeah. Like, I still think he's going to be fine. It's Aaron Rodgers.
It seems like
there's Coach sitting down at that table at the amusement park. It's like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. He's holding on to the last Super Bowl trophy.
No, the thing
Aaron
is, like,
Rodgers plushie next to him.
If you, like, LaFleur's team is built around running the game or running the ball and playing defense. And so I think that's what he's trying to do is just build that type of team, and I think Rodgers is now like buying into it. And then he was on the Pat McAfee show, and he was actually pretty happy with everything. He was like, "Oh yeah, we talked about it. Like all our receivers were off the board." Like he was actually talking about how he talks to management now, which I think was the biggest, kind of gripe he had with everybody. And now it seems like they're on the same page. So
I mean, wasn't that the problem in the playoffs though, when like LaFleur was calling running plays when he had literally Devonte Adams to pass to, but he wasn't for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, not really. I mean, the problem in the playoffs was Rodgers forced the ball to Adams into like double and triple coverage. That was, and our special teams literally shit themselves. It was the combo of those two.
Well, yeah, the special teams were,
But again, that's like the biggest reason I'm actually not upset is because now I think Rodgers is going to spread the ball out more and not force feed Adams, and I think that's actually going to benefit the team.
Well, yeah, you can't be a one-player team in this league.
Yeah,
you just
and that's what it ended up being, is he just didn't trust everyone enough, and so he would just keep going back to Adams. And now he doesn't have that, so now he can actually do what he's best at. I think he just kind of got, put the blinders on.
They're either going to have no options at all, or he's finally going to do something.
Right, yeah. Or we'll just, it'll be like Aaron Jones swing passes every play.
But will just be terrible this year.
I don't think they're going to be terrible. Like, our defense was actually like a top 10 defense. Like, we were like 9 or 10 at some point, and then they played well in the playoffs. I think the defense, if anything, is going to be their main thing that carries them.
Playoffs.
Funnily enough. Playoffs.
Playoffs.
And then we had Cole Strange.
The Stranger.
The
Strange trade.
Probably the strangest pick of the first round as well.
Yeah. Again, at least according to the media.
Yeah, that's true. According to the media, they ranked him as a 77 grade, which, if you look at a lot of these other dudes in the first round, they're like 90-ish or above, or at least like high 80s. Mm-hmm. So probably the lowest graded player of the first round, but it's Bill Belichick. So, I mean, he probably knows something.
I mean, again, like historically, Bill Belichick hasn't been the greatest like drafter.
That's true.
That is also kind of a misleading thing, because the Patriots teams have always been kind of in a constant reload mode, and they're always kind of getting players that can fill like a very specific specialist role that they need. So they don't necessarily get superstar numbers, but they're very useful in their system.
Yeah.
I actually think the lowest rated player was Devonte Wyatt, because he's got a 75 or 77.
Really? They ranked him on ESPN as a 90.
Cole Strange, he's got a 77 on NFL.com, the next gen stats, and Cole Strange is an 83.
Oh, really?
Interesting. Yeah, ESPN had him at 90. So I'm like, I guess they have different scouts. Or I don't know.
Yeah, that's Adam Schefter coming back.
So it was so like the media was so blindsided by this. None of the draft programs had any footage of Cole Strange on hand when he got drafted, which is just wild to me. And like at all, there's not that many players coming out when it really gets right down to it. You know, it's just hard drive space.
Yeah.
You know, like they've got millions of dollars on these broadcasts. They don't have footage of a player that could be potentially drafted. They should have every player.
But you don't know who's getting drafted, and there's hundreds of players that are lined up to try to get drafted. So you can't expect them to have it on everybody. I mean, it's not really the media's.
Well, they do eventually, right? I mean, it's just
eventually,
that.
But I mean, you can't expect them to have a reel ready to go for every single player who might get drafted. I mean, that's it was out of left field for sure. But you know, I don't besmirch him for not having any footage on the guy. It's the Patriots had footage, and that's all that I guess really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
he's
then
fast for a lineman too.
He is, yeah. He's very strong.
Watch him be a Pro Bowler or something. We'll see.
Probably. I mean, if Belichick drafted him, he's going to be a monster.
McVay also said that they had him there were a couple of teams that came out afterwards that were like, yeah, we had him as a first round grade, which just kind of shows that a lot of the media drafts, like Mel Kiper, you're not necessarily getting what the teams are thinking on players.
There are people who pay for his draft. That blows my mind.
Him to sit there looking like a vampire, being like, "This guy with a 4.5 40, he does."
Yeah, his widow's peak is becoming much more than that nowadays.
He does have a little bit of Bram Stoker's Dracula going on.
He'll be Christopher Lee within the next 5 years.
100%. Then the Chiefs took George Karlaftis at 30. Daxton Hill, safety, goes to the Bengals, and then the Vikings finally picked a football player at 32. Louis Sign, I believe is how you say his name, and he's a safety. So I guess he's out of Georgia, so I guess they probably liked him, and they're like, hey, maybe we can get him to the end of the first round or something. So that's probably what they were thinking while they traded down.
Yeah, I ended my dinner early to get back to join Coach and Rob for the draft to see Tampa pick at 27, only to find out as soon as I sat down, Tampa Bay, they traded the draft. All right, bye, I guess.
Yep. But first pick of the second round, Sinvicta, you got Logan Hall.
Logan Hall, coach. He's the only guy that I wanted in the draft, and I was shocked that he fell to the second round, because Logan Hall is an absolute beast of a lineman. You can't even say that this isn't like any sort of bias coming in, because I was talking about it pre-draft. If you guys remember that Logan Hall was the guy that I wanted, because he was such a manimal at Houston. So I'm really, really happy that we got him. Super fast lineman. And he's just, the dude's 6'6". He is.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You do not want to try to block this man. So I'm really, really happy that we got Logan Hall. He was my top pick. He was my pick that I wanted. If it wasn't going to be the Sauce, then I wanted Logan Hall.
Oh, high praise for Sauce. I like it.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter who he goes to. The Sauce is great. It doesn't matter if he walked down the wrong side of the way. I'm glad that one of us got him, and I don't have to play against him. So
it's true. Yeah,
I did want the Sauce, but if we weren't going to get him, again, you can go back and listen to the show. I said Logan Hall. That's who I want. Logan Hall.
That is true.
I believe it. I don't remember it, but I believe it.
How about this pick, which was there's actually a few punters that went in this draft. And the Bills in the 6th round took Matt Araiza, or Araiza, I don't know how you say it, but he's called the punt god. He pretty much was the best punter in college football. He averaged 51.2 yards a punt
Wow, that is
And-
actually wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh right, I remember them talking about him. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. And he had 40 punts down inside the 20, most in the FBS in 2021. And he was setting records. He also kicked off and served as the team's place kicker. So, like, dude just does everything. And
Wow.
I think he even had a punt that was like 82 yards or something crazy. Like,
That is wild.
actually insane. So when the Bills actually have to punt, they got this guy now.
Yeah.
He's no Rodrigo Blankenship. But
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
he
And
can only
then,
hope to aspire to be.
yep. And then the last pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, was a quarterback named Brock Purdy.
Yep.
Brock Purdy.
Brock
That's who I want on my team.
Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
You got a Purdy name, boy.
Oh, boy.
I heard your last name is Purdy. Well, I like him Purdy.
He's
You
going
know,
to the
I-
49ers.
Yeah, I heard about, or I read about this because somebody made a post on NFL analyzing the Mr. Irrelevant pick.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it's a very sought after pick because there's a lot of media fanfare after the Mr. Irrelevant. So
Oh,
much
yeah, that's
so
true.
that they had to make rules in the draft so teams wouldn't fight over the last pick because they have this rule so that you can't so you can normally defer your pick. Teams don't do it because I mean,
Mhm.
why would you? But I mean, you could defer your pick to the next team and then take your pick after.
Yeah.
So you could pass, but you can't do that on the last pick because teams did try to do that to get the Mr. Irrelevant, so they had to change the rule for it, which is just kind of funny. And the Mr. Irrelevant tends to get a lot of support and tends to last in the league longer than other players, which is wild too.
That is
So-
pretty wild for like the
Yeah.
last pick in the draft.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Like
it's
players
a-
picked before him are discarded more often. But yeah,
It's quite often more case than not, especially in this consumer world of ours, where the person becomes their own brand. So it adds to
Yeah.
the person's value. If you
We,
can tag on, I was Mr. Irrelevant, you get more attention. I mean, who remembers who like the 18th pick of the 6th round is? No one's gonna remember that,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
But Mr. Irrelevant gets a tag and they get a title.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should start a new trend here this year, where we
Okay.
go through the first first 3 rounds and we find the coolest name
Oh
of
yeah,
all the people picked.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, I know there's Smoke.
Per round.
Oh yeah, Smoke
Okay.
Monday.
Yeah, Smoke Monday, which
He
Well,
was
let's
he didn't get
amazing.
drafted though, but he
Yeah.
did go to
We gotta go.
the
We gotta
Saints.
go with people who got drafted. I mean, round 1, it's got to be Sauce Gardner. I mean, the man's name is Sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce Guard.
That is true. Yeah.
There's that one's already over. So
I mean,
first
even his
round-
non-nickname is Ahmad Gardner, which is also just a nice. It's a good name.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, but it ain't cooler than Sauce.
It's Sauce. Sauce is very cool. Yeah.
Let's
No.
see.
Yeah,
round 2.
Round 2, my nominee, and this is just we can nominate, and then we have to come up with an
right.
executive decision. But I think that the second round coolest name in my book's got to be Drake Jackson. If it's not Drake Jackson, then Jaquan Brisker is pretty damn good too.
Oh, that is
It's
good.
a good
too.
name.
Yeah.
But there's also Nick Bonito.
Okay.
Yeah, you got Benito. Yeah.
Okay, that is pretty good. Yeah.
I don't even know how you say that dude's name. Luke Godecki.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's for
there's,
the Bucks drafted him.
Oh yeah.
that's interesting.
You got Sky Moore. I mean, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Sky Moore is a cool name, but I knew someone named Sky, so it's less cool.
You also, I mean, I completely glossed over this because it's a Washington pick, but you got Fedarian Mathis.
Okay,
Oh,
that is
a
great.
cool
Yeah.
name.
Fedarian is a pretty good
Fedarian.
name.
I wonder if that means anything.
I don't know.
Fedarian.
Yeah, I kind of
cool
like
name.
Fedarian Mathis, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, it's down to Fedarian Mathis or Drake Jackson. I mean, Drake Jackson that sounds like a guy you want on your police force.
It does. Like, he's just the
He's like
coolest
he's
dude.
the guy. He's not afraid to get dirty. He's not afraid to
wearing the
bend the
shades.
rules. Yeah,
We need
yeah,
Drake
yeah.
Jackson on the case.
Drake Jackson.
Yeah.
Then let's see, third round.
Well, we got to vote for the second round. It comes down to Fedarian or Drake for me.
I'm voting Fedarian, honestly. I think it's a different name and it's a cool name.
But it's got Mathis in the name.
It's a good point. He's not wrong about that.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with Fedarian Mathis.
Thank you.
I like Fedarian. Although I also like, looking at the names here, I also like Wandale Robinson.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Since we're talking about the second round briefly, I wanted to mention the Jets also got Breece Hall in the second round.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which he was considered by the media and by the Jets, at least, and I assume other teams, to be the best running back in the draft. So the Jets knocked it out of the park with their draft.
He had a 99 rating.
Yeah,
wow.
He was considered the best running back in the draft, and the Jets they actually traded up to get him.
And now they have Bryce and Breece Hall.
Yeah, that's not going to get confusing.
Yeah, Michael Carter, Bryce Hall, Breece Hall. There's other ones too. I wrote them before.
Josh Allen sacked Josh Allen.
Right. Yeah.
All right, and the final round for the coolest names of the draft per round. I mean, you gotta love Jelani Woods. I think
that's good.
But Nakobe Dean.
Yeah. The combination. I mean, the combination name of this name though, the synergy is just up there for me. It's Cordell Flott.
That's like a
great name.
That's like a Disney character or something.
Yeah, Cordell Flott.
Yeah.
And then you also have Tyrion Davis Price.
Okay,
that's a good one.
Wait, hold on. I guess their parents must have been Game of Thrones fans. Back in the 90s when they were reading the books.
I was going to say they have to be reading the books because obviously the show's not 20 years old. So.
Yeah, they're book readers. He has book reader parents. That's funny.
And then you also had I just had him. Oh yeah, Kirby Joseph. His name's Kirby.
Okay, that is good. Yeah.
I like the. Okay, where did I see it? It was.
Yep. Yeah.
Hold on, can't find it. Hold on. Dude, where did he go? I was just looking.
All right,
hold on.
I also
Chad Muma.
Channing Tyndall. Channing Tyndall.
That's good. Yeah, that's good too. Wait, where's Chad Muma though? That's a great name.
Chad Muma.
It may have been Muma. I wasn't watching it by this point.
It's Muma. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it is Muma. Chad Muma.
Look this up.
Chad Muma's pretty good.
Chad Muma is pretty good.
That's a great name.
Yeah, I'd probably vote Chad Muma.
American vote. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes down to Chad or Cordell Flott.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cordell Flott is good too.
Yeah. I'm going Chad Muma still.
Yeah, I'm going Chad Muma too.
All right,
it's too much of a meme,
Yeah.
There you go. So the coolest names as voted upon by the three guys at Bear Talk About Football podcast. Round one, Sauce Gardner.
Absolutely.
For the Jets. Round two, we ended up going with where was his? I'm trying to find his card here. It was not Drake Jackson. Who? Oh, it was Fedarian Mathis for the Commanders. Yeah, Fedarian Mathis for the Commanders in round two, and then round three it was Chad Muma, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The absolute Chad Muma.
I think that'd be a fun tradition segment.
Yo, by the way, the fourth round. I'm just saying, the fourth round's got some crazy names.
We can extend it to 4 rounds.
Let's throw in the fourth round here because this is pretty
wild.
Fourth
round.
So we got
fourth round. It's in.
Oh God.
We have Jack Jones.
Jack Jones.
Okay,
Jack Jones.
Yeah, that's a comic book character.
Yeah.
But Rob's got Max Mitchell.
Max Mitchell. They got Chigoziem Okonkwo.
Oh, that's fun.
That's a fun name.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really I want to learn. There's a bunch of cool languages out of Africa, and they have awesome names out there. There's some great ones.
There's the Kobe Durant.
You got
that's good.
Ayoma Uzawazurki.
Oh, that's interesting.
Uwazurike.
It's number 116. I can't even pronounce it.
Right?
Uwazurike? Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
That's
then you have
that's a cool name.
Then you have Damari Mathis.
another Mathis. Too many
Two
Mathises.
Mathises,
Dude,
yeah.
Hassan Haskins. That's like a rolls off the tongue name.
Yeah,
you
that's a fun one.
got a great synergy pick here, Daniel Falele.
Oh, yeah,
I like that. Yeah,
that's a cool one.
very rolls off the tongue.
Bailey Zapp.
Zap. Zap. And then you got Perry and Winfrey.
Perry and
Is that
Winfrey.
the
Perry on Winfrey.
Eric
He went to Cleveland.
Kanma?
Isaiah
That's cool.
Likely. I like that.
Okay,
It's like
yeah, that's
Isaiah
pretty fun,
Likely.
You got Isaiah Spiller. He played for A&M as well.
And then Eric Ezukanma is a fun.
And Calvin Austin III.
Kevin Austin III.
Oh no, that poor family. It's all Kevins.
No, Calvin Austin III.
Oh, okay, that's a little better.
Calvin Austin III.
If
I apologize to any Kevins watching.
I don't know. Isaiah Likely is pretty good.
Isaiah Likely is pretty good. I like that.
I'm actually kind of partial to man, I have no idea how to say it. That's kind of why I'm
I was
partial
gonna
to
say
it.
either that or Ioma Uwazurike.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
I'm a big fan of Max Mitchell.
That is also good. Yeah.
I would say
For me, I think Max Mitchell or Ioma Uwazurike.
Yeah, I'd say Uwazurike is probably my favorite.
Same. Yeah.
There you go.
There it is.
There's the fourth round. Should we go on to the fifth?
I mean,
You know, at this rate, we might as well just keep it.
I'll just do them all. Coolest
Yeah.
names as voted upon by the podcast.
Here we go.
Exactly.
Round
Oh,
5.
man.
Snoop Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That is fucking
Coach, you also got Delaren Turner Yell.
great.
He's got
Okay,
Yell
yeah.
in his name.
He's got Yell in his name.
That is wonderful.
Otito Agbanya. That's a fun one.
That is cool. That's like it almost sounds Eastern European.
It kind of
Yeah.
does, yeah.
Yeah,
Samuel-
you got Tegan Kitoriano.
I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure.
Is that Italian? Where is this person?
It's a combination of like Mexican Italian, I think.
Samuel
Mexican's
Womack.
not a language.
Oh man, look who the Packers picked up. Kingsley. I'm gonna say Kingsley
Engbare. I think it's Engbare, yeah.
Enagbare.
In the
cool.
fourth round, we had Zach Tom. 2 first names. Zach Tom.
That's no Austin Martin, but it's up there.
That's good.
I think
Tegan?
Snoop Connor's got to have it. It's got to be
Snoop
Snoop
Connor.
I think
is,
Snoop
yeah.
Connor's got it. There's
Yeah.
a Tegan Quitoriano to the Texans.
Yeah,
That's
remember
pretty
that's
good.
remember that's the guy I literally just got done naming.
I was,
Condoriano.
Kitoriano.
yeah, Snoop Connor's got to get it, man.
Snoop Connor's got to get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Snoop Connor for round 5.
Mm-hmm.
Round
6. We got Darian Beavers. We got the
Oh,
Beavers.
Yeah, I mean
Oh my
that's
God.
that's a number one right away.
Yeah,
Like,
right away he's in the lead.
That's a
hard.
pretty Calcaterra is a pretty awesome name.
That sounds like a Star Wars name. That's awesome.
That
Yeah.
does. Let's see. Chance Campbell.
Yeah.
Cole
Jasir Taylor for the
Jasir Taylor.
Chargers.
That's
Yeah, that's
fun.
a good one.
Oh, and then we got the Bucks drafted the tight end Ko Kieft.
Yeah, Kieft.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that's
then
a fun
I
Tariq-
one.
wonder what that's from.
Tariq Castro Fields is a good one.
Yep,
Coke.
Kieft.
Because
like that.
the man's first name is Ko.
Yeah,
it's KO.
that's sweet.
It's either Ko Kieft or Ko Kieft or Darian Beavers.
I still like Darian Beavers, man.
Yeah,
That's just-
yeah. I mean, Keefe sounds like a character that I would write in a story, and I might steal his name for that. But
Now that's a Star Wars character right there, by the way.
yeah, Keefe. Yeah,
What's crazy is he looks like Ryan Jensen.
is he really?
Yeah, look at him.
But
He
I
looks
mean,
like-
just
He
reading
looks like Ryan Jensen.
reading the like synopsis thing here is like Beavers is quick to diagnose and shoot the gap. Like that's just I just love it.
Yeah, no, it's got to be Beavers. I mean,
It's
it's
gotta be
just
Beavers.
Beavers. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the guy I'm taking in Madden, 100%.
yeah, no, 100%.
He's my Padawan learner.
Yeah,
And then
finally round seven, Coach.
Yep.
I mean, Jatire Carter is real good.
That's a good one.
That is
Jatire
good.
Carter.
Monteric Brown is another great one.
Yep.
Thayer Munford Jr.
Okay.
Oh,
I wonder
boy.
if there's an unfair Munford Jr.
Probably.
Like if there's another one that they just said, no, you get to be a dick, and you gotta be nice.
We got Russ Yeast. Russ Yeast. That's a good one.
That's good.
But you gotta, I mean, honestly, they're all great, but Brock Purdy is real good.
That's
Purdy
true.
is up there,
Brock
yeah.
Purdy is really
and
good.
he's got the title of Mr. Relevant. It's got to be Brock Purdy.
It probably does.
Yeah.
But second
Although
place is Russ Yeast.
Yeah, Russ.
He's right there.
We go
That's
from
amazing.
Darian Beavers to Russ Yeast.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think it's unanimous of Brock Purdy. I mean, come on.
It's
yeah.
Brock Purdy. Yeah,
It's
No,
Brock
that's-
and it's
Brock
a combination of Brock and Purdy.
Yeah, no, that's just very ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's great. And also, I want to mention that we're not making fun of any of these names.
No,
We're-
we just
we're-
think they're
No.
cool.
We're
having
literally
a-
picking them based on how cool they are.
Yeah, I have a very funny name. I just want to put that out there. I just, my name is very funny, and most of the people even close to me don't know how to spell it. So,
I definitely don't.
yeah. No, so it's
So yeah, I mean,
By the way, honorable mention to Bo Melton, by the way.
Bo Melton.
Okay, that is a great name.
Bo Melton.
And Britton Brown. That's a fun one.
Britton Brown.
Britton
That's
Brown.
fun. Yeah.
Terry
friend-
Brown is still real good.
My friend's son recently called me Robert Mozzarelli, and I like that.
Nice.
So,
Robert Mozzarelli.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's all the draft picks we had, and I mean, I don't think we have any power rankings.
No, but I mean, there's like a little bit of like whatchamacallit news, free agent stuff with like the Baker Mayfield shit.
Oh, is there? What happened with Baker Mayfield?
Well, I mean,
know
not that
hasn't
he got
gotten-
that's kind of the news, I guess.
Oh,
is that
yeah.
he hasn't gone to anywhere.
That's true. Yeah, everyone thought he was going to get traded at the draft after like all the quarterbacks went and everything. But
I do actually have power rankings, Coach.
okay.
Oh shit! All right.
All right.
The power rankings, if you can believe it, we've had some actual movers and shakers, and actually a pretty
boy.
big surprise here in the top 10. But first off, top 5. The Power Rankings, NFL.com Power Rankings, brought to you by NFL.com and their Power Rankings written by Dan Hanzus, Bible of the Internet. Starting with Robert, top 5.
Let's go with the Buccaneers.
Yep. Coach?
Let's go with the Rams.
Yep. Bear is still AFK. We don't know where Bear is at this point.
Yeah.
Rob.
Let's go with the Chiefs.
No.
Wow.
Coach?
Packers.
Woohoo! The last pick, Robert.
So we have the Rams and Bucks.
Yep. That's it.
Who else?
I know
is
one.
Good?
I know one.
You know one?
Yeah.
Whisper it to me.
Buffalo Bills.
Oh, the Bills. I think it's the
Yeah.
Bills. Yeah.
Great going, Rob.
Thank you, voice inside of my head.
Coach Trendor.
Um,
Come on,
Let's
you can get
see.
the last two.
last two. This should be. This is easy.
I think I know one.
Think offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Oh, the Bengals.
Yep. And Robert for the dunk.
Well, shit, that was the one that I was thinking of. So
All right, the other one was the San Francisco 49ers. Here we go.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't
They
think
made
they
the
were.
NFC Championship.
Jimmy
Come on.
Garoppolo.
Come
Yeah.
on.
They
Top
couldn't
5
even score any
Power
points
Rankings,
against
NFL.com
us.
Power Rankings.
Oh,
Buffalo Bills number 1, Rams 2, Bucks moved up to 3rd from position last time at 4th. The Bengals swapped with the Bucks, now going to 4th, and then the Niners stopping at the top 5, rounding out the top 10. It can be the Packers at 6, Chiefs at 7, who were previously 9th, the Broncos at 8 for some reason, the Chargers at 9th, and the Las Vegas Raiders in 10th. Now, we've had a lot of moving and a lot of shaking. We've had some dips. We've had some dives. We've had some shimmies and shakes and all kinds of French fries and all that stuff. Coach Krendor.
Yep.
The fattest doink of this week's power rankings. This team has dropped not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 spots. Going from 10th. That's right. This team was previously top 10 all the way down to 16th. Name that AFC team.
I think it's either the Ravens or the Titans. I'm going to go Titans.
That is correct.
Ooh,
the Titans dropped from 10th to 16th.
Oh boy!
Got rid of AJ Brown.
After the AJ Brown trade kind of bombed their ratings, and there's actually way too many teams for the thinnest dink. But this one is made especially for Robert.
Oh
Robert,
boy! Mm-hmm.
This is your time. We are believing in you.
Oh boy! Yeah. See. Yeah. Okay.
We're believing in you, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
True or false?
Mm-hmm.
The New York Football Jets are ranked above the Washington Commanders.
Ooh. Wow, are they that high on us? I mean, true. I think they're probably going to say yes.
That is correct.
Wow.
Follow-up trade or follow-up question for you, Rob. True or false? The New York Football Jets are ahead of not 1, but 2 NFC South teams in the Power Rankings, NFL.com Power Rankings.
I mean, I assume true, I guess.
That is correct.
Whoa.
Wow.
And finally, the biggest one. True or false? The New York Football Jets are in the top 20 of the Power Rankings, NFL.com Power Rankings.
Oh boy. I mean, now the hype is getting out of control.
Yeah, that's a little too crazy.
If that's, I'll say true because I think you're leading me there. So true.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
The
okay. Thank
The
God.
Jets are ranked 24th on the Power
That's not bad.
Rankings, listing the name of teams that they have leapfrogged, now climbing all the way up from 28th, 24th. Listen to some of these just elite squads, starting at the bottom to the top. They have overtaken the Texans, the Jaguars, the Bears, the Falcons, the Giants, the Lions, the Washington Commanders, and the Carolina Panthers in the Power Rankings. And I'll read it for you, Rob, because I know you're interested in hearing Dan's write-up on this.
Absolutely.
Jets fans felt like they're in a parallel dimension on draft weekend, a bizarro world in which the organization was universally praised for its sterling draft acumen.
Yep.
The Jets have been the source of belly laughs for decades this time of year, but no one was laughing at Joe Douglas's haul in Vegas. The team added 3 potential stars in 3 major areas of need in the process in the first round. Cornerback Ahmad Sauce Gardner, wide receiver Garrett Wilson, and defensive end Jermaine Johnson II. On day 2, Douglas landed another top player amongst many positional draft boards in running back Breece Hall. After an excellent offseason of personnel moves, the Jets suddenly have a compelling roster on both sides of the ball. There will be immense pressure on second-year quarterback Zach Wilson to make it all work. Thank you very much, Dan Hansis, and I pretty much agree with all of that. I think that when history looks back at this, I think the steal of the draft is going to be Breece Hall.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean he was supposed to be like a number 1 back kind of guy, right? Like he's a guy that they were saying like he could handle the 300 carries a year or whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
And I have to mention this because it is a monumentous day for Robert as well. Even though I mentioned that the thinnest dink, there were too many teams to mention because like a lot of teams moved up by 4. I believe this is the first time in podcast history since I've been doing the power rankings, because I'm the one who writes them after all.
Yep.
That the Jets have been included in the thinnest dink ever
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, I
They
think it is.
joined the elite company of moving up 4 spots in the rankings, including the Baltimore Ravens, who moved up 4, the Colts, who moved up 4, the Eagles, who moved up 4, the Saints, who moved up 4, and the Jets, who moved up 4.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for the power rankings. Back up to Rob and Coach in the booth for the pick'ems.
All right, it's Pick'em's time.
Pick'em's
Pick'em's
time.
time.
All right, here we go.
Jets to win the Super Bowl.
right. Rob is out already.
No.
As
well,
a 3-time consecutive Pick'em's Crown winner, champion coach, my giant 5-head brain is predicting that the New York Football Jets will not win the Super Bowl.
Is it possible to put money on that?
I believe it's probably already possible in Vegas,
All
but
right.
we wouldn't do
80
any
to 1.
kind of illicit betting here.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
No, we don't
We
do
would
that.
never.
I know what
Yeah.
it is actually in Vegas right now. It's 80 to 1, and the reason that I know that is because there was a post on the Jets subreddit because the guy who won the Kentucky Derby was also 80 to 1.
Yeah, Rich
Oh,
Strike.
interesting.
Yeah,
That was an amazing race.
Well,
I don't
that
like
was
horse
crazy.
racing.
could be an amazing Jets team. You know,
It
you never
could
know.
be.
I mean,
Put
they
the
all
odds
they've
at 80
always,
to 1.
Yeah, they've always said since the start of time that the Jets and horse racing were intricately entwined.
Exactly,
with each
yeah.
other.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Well, I mean, the Jet is really just the
It's just
The-
a flying
the-
horse at the end of the day.
yeah. It's the distant cousin to the horse, really.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Enjoy
the show. We got a few months off now. We got about 3 months, give or
Yeah,
take.
preseason.
Yeah, preseason will be here. Honestly, it'll be here faster than you think. Faster
It's
than you
true.
think. And we'll see you then.
Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun.
Bye-bye.
Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun.